Okay. So, welcome, Jacqueline. Thank you for joining.
Hi, I'm late.
That's okay. We're just getting started. I was just telling them I want to start on time so we can finish on time. I know you all probably have something else to be doing on this Thursday evening. And if you
Awesome.
have any questions or comments, if you want to put those in the chat, you can. If you just want to respond directly to me, you can also choose to do that as well. Um, and then if, I don't know if you had an opportunity to try to join, hey Arnetta, to try to join the Facebook group or not, there's a link at the bottom of the last two emails I sent.
Hello.
Um, you may have to copy and paste the link into your browser if you can't join directly, because that's what Pam was just saying that she couldn't just click on the link and it for it to take her directly to the Facebook group. But I do know Arnetta did join the group, the Facebook group. It's a private group, so if you get a chance, just copy and paste the link over into your browser, and it should take you directly there to join. So again, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to be talking about mindset matters, and how important it is to protect your peace. So I'm going to try to share my screen. Um, so what has everybody been up to? Mhm.
Been working
I've
this.
been working. Go, Jackie.
No. Hey, Pam.
Hey.
I ain't even, I've been working all day.
Hmm. Me too. Open enrollment is getting me.
Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about
Yes.
elevating your mindset. And so I'm looking over to the sides because I have two screens going. Um, so I won't be looking directly at you guys. But elevating your mindset to overcome some of life greatest obstacles or oppositions or setbacks that we may be having. Um, and when we talk about mindset, what comes to mind, so to speak, when you hear the word mindset? Um, I know for me, it's about how I think about things or how I process a situation and what determines how I respond to the situation. Because I know everybody thinks differently, um, especially under pressure, and your response to that situation may not be conducive to your well-being. So that's why we always say that mindset is important, and how you look at things and how you think about things and how you respond um, to those oppositions or for those setbacks. So we want to deal with those in a positive way because we want to continue to move forward in our daily lives. So when you hear the word empower, what do you think about? What comes to mind?
Motivating, inspiring.
Okay. That's right. And sometimes you have to empower yourself because you may not have someone who who have your best interest at heart. Um, to empower you, you may have to empower yourself. And then there may be other people who empower you, who really want to see you do well, who really want to see you prosper. And I know one of the things I can contest to with Arnetta, she and I will text each other, and she'll say, "Here's my shenanigan. This is what I'm up to today."
Yep.
And and we can talk about, some of the things that we are working on. So, and we're always encouraging each other. Um,
Hmm.
in any projects that we're working or any shenanigans that we're working on, we always encourage each other. You know, if I send her a picture of something, she's like, I want one. And
Mm-hmm.
well, that's nice. Or, you know, and it's the same with me. If she'll send me a picture of something that she's working on, I said, I want one, give me a size small.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have someone in your corner who is genuine um,
Mm-hmm.
about your success. Any other comments on empower?
I think too, for me, I think a lot of times when I think about empower or somebody to inspire you, for me, it may have been something I thought I could do, but not really confident in doing it. And somebody from the outside, like yourself, would say, "Oh, girl, you can do that. Ain't no big deal." Or X, Y, Z. You might get stuck at a certain point, and because you have that level of insecurity or unsure about being able to do it, sometimes we just drop the ball altogether and somebody else will come along and say, you really can do this. It's not that hard.
Right, right. And
So in
this,
other words, you need that uplift, somebody to lift you up, somebody in your corner. Um, and a lot of times, people don't have that people in their corner.
right,
And like you did say, genuine people. So
right,
you may
Right.
have people in your corner, but they trying to, pull from you. But when you have those genuine people, it makes a difference.
yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, because we do a lot of the same things, but just like she mentioned previously, if she do something and she nailed it, it's like, look, I want one of those. I'm gonna buy it from you.
Right.
right. Yeah, and it becomes a trust issue. Like if somebody actually, tell you, "Oh, girl, that looks nice," but really it doesn't. But they want you to share it with other people so other people can criticize you because they knew all the,
Yeah.
man, why did she share that? So
Yeah.
yeah. So do you trust that person's judgment? Go ahead, Pam.
Well, I was just going to add to what they were saying that it also makes you feel, like Arnetta said, feel more confident in life and different challenges that you face. You feel more stronger and know that you're able to, get things accomplished and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because also, when we try to do things too, sometimes, we speak to ourselves. We say, "Oh, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this." And a lot of times, some things that we do is trial and error. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it may not be for us at that moment. It may come later, but
Mm,
at
Right.
the moment, it may not be for us. But sometimes we can't accept that it's not for us at that moment. You know what I'm saying? So,
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
because we want to do it, but if it's not for us, it's not going to be for us. So, you know, uh, people, but it's not for other people to make that decision either.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Right.
So,
And that was a good point because one time I bought some needles, some sewing needles for my sewing
oh
machine.
Lord,
I know, right? And I bought 100. It was 10 in a pack, and I bought 10 packs. And I was like, why in the world did I buy 100 needles for one sewing machine and one embroidery machine that only used one needle? And so now I have a 6 needle embroidery machine. And now when I look at those 100 needles, I say, look at God, because
yeah.
he
Hmm.
he already knew.
He knew when you didn't know.
He knew when
Uh-huh.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
He set
Because
you
my
up for it.
mindset was
Mm-hmm.
like, why in the world did I buy 100 needles and I only use one at a time? And now with trial and error with the 6 needle, I break 6 needles at a time
Mm-hmm.
through trial and error.
But to
So
be honest with you, but still, even with those, I know it's not a needle, it's not a sewing machine thing, but it's still with the mindset because even with those needles, you still break a lot of needles. If you sew a lot, you still break a lot of needles. It all depends
right,
on what you're sewing.
right,
Yes.
true.
So it was beneficial.
It was, but I didn't think so at the time.
But it was all good though.
All part of the plan.
All part of the plan.
Uh-huh.
So we must continue to empower each other to overcome challenges.
Mhm.
Mindset transformation for growth. You have to believe in yourself every
Mm-hmm.
day. So not just today, come tomorrow, you still have to continue to believe in yourself. You have to be consistent. So that's one of the challenges that I have was being consistent. I can go good for 3 days, but come the fourth day, I'll be like, forget this. I'm not doing this no more.
Exactly.
Had
Uh-huh.
enough.
I
I'm
know how
fed
that goes.
up. It's it. That's it. But you have to continue to be consistent
In whatever you do.
in whatever you do. So faith-based strategies development, you have to trust the process and stay focused. So not only do you have to trust the individual that's trying to empower you, you have to trust the process. And that's been one of the things I've been hearing a lot of, trust the process, because when you start a project and you're like, this is not going how I thought it was going to go, and you don't want to finish it, but you have to remember that you still have to trust the process and see it through.
And you know what? When you said that, I'm moving around, y'all. I'm so sorry.
No, you okay?
When you say trust the process, stay in the race, it tells you that in the Bible. We have to stay in the race. We have to trust the process and stay in the race, because if we what's that's just like faith without, I mean what
Works
is it?
without works without
Work
faith.
with, yes.
Okay.
Yes. What can you do without faith?
Mm-hmm.
You have no faith in it, it's not gonna work. It's dead. And so that's the same thing that you're saying. Trust that process.
That's the
Because
process.
if you prayed about it, you prayed about that process, it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm. Pray about it and don't go back and get it. It's okay,
Exactly.
Lord.
Don't, yeah. And I look at a lot of health issues that I have, that I have had. And once I stopped thinking about it, I prayed about it and I stopped thinking about it. I don't even see it no more. A lot of stuff. But
Mindset.
like that's the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
If we let it stick and stay there, it's gonna stick and stay there. But once we pray, once you let it go, you know.
Right. Focus on the things above.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to empower ourselves to rise above those challenges and embrace a transformative journey of faith. That was by an unknown author. So we have to empower ourselves or yourself to rise above challenges and embrace a transformative journey of faith. And you know that faith can be the size of a mustard seed. It don't take much,
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit of faith. So how do you empower women or yourself through faith? Overcoming life's challenges moments. Cultivate a resilient mindset for success. So you have to be resilient, you have to be consistent, and you have to continue the process and trust the process. And then also you need community support. And that community could just be one person. If you can just get one person who's consistent and empowering you and lifting you up and pushing you forward and believing in you, that's really all you need.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you need to mirror the same to them. Don't just let them continue to support you and push you and empower you, and then you don't return the same.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because I've had people who would call me every time they call me, it was always a sob story. Never, ever was anything good. And that would drain you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to embrace personal growth, your personal growth journey, learn to trust in your own abilities. So that goes back to what somebody already said. You have to trust in your own abilities. And you create faith-driven strategies, implement effective methods to achieve your goals. So there's going to be 7 faith-based strategies that we're going to discuss. Um, and of course, faith is one of them. Elevate your mindset. So you all have already joined me in discovering these faith-based strategies to overcome these obstacles. And sometimes I may use the word oppositions instead of obstacles. or setbacks in order to transform our opportunities for growth. And sometimes setbacks or oppositions can set you up for a good opportunity. So that is one way you have to look at sometimes when things aren't going your way and you're trying to figure out why, it could be because something better is coming.
Greater coming.
If I can interject here, I believe when for myself, I'll speak for myself. When I have, and I don't remember the scripture, it tells us to present our plans and our works to the Lord, and He'll cause them to succeed. And what I'm finding is, I mean, even today, things what I had planned, I did my prayer, meditation, God help me, guide me, or whatever, and pretty much nothing that I planned today came out. But at the end, when I got ready to come home, I was like, God, you're in control. You told me not to be anxious for nothing. And for whatever the delay is, it's always a setup when you seek Him first.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just like you didn't know why you bought 100 needles. He knew you was going to need them.
You knew I was going to. Empowered women empowering each other daily.
That's
So if
right.
I'm empowered, I should be able to empower the next woman.
Yep.
Empowering women to rise above challenges. Transform your mindset. So you have to transform the way you look at things. You have to transform the way that you respond to things. So, for instance, let's say that someone was to say, even if someone was just to ask you a question, let's say, do you want a bottle of water? And you may say, no, thanks. Or you could say, no, but thanks. So which one of those sound better?
The first one
The first one? No,
to
thanks.
me.
Okay. Anybody else? No, thanks. Or no, but thanks.
I would say the first one.
First one, okay.
I like said the second one.
Second,
No, but thanks.
two seconds and two first. So for me, I thought it was the second one. And I say that because it's not as no thanks to me sound like I'm being short. So
Yeah, no thanks. No thanks.
uh,
I can see
and,
that.
and not considerate, you know. So I say no, but thanks, like no, but thanks for asking.
I can see that.
What if you say no, thank you? It's
So
like
thank
yeah.
yeah, that would kind of be the same as no, but thanks. Yeah.
I would even say no, but thanks for even asking.
Thank you. How you doing? How are you? So there's no right or wrong, but it's all about your mindset and how you receive it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, and it also depends on the person because sometimes we just don't receive something the same uh,
Mm-hmm.
from one person as we would from another.
And I think tone plays a big part in that too.
Hmm. It does. Empowering women through mindset elevation. So when we talk about elevation, that means you're going higher. You're thinking more positive about um, whatever your response is going to be or whatever it is you're thinking about. You're not on the same level that you used to be. You want to elevate so you can be a better person, so you can respond in a
Mm-hmm.
more responsive way, so to speak. And because you have people who are looking up to you, and you, in order to
Mm-hmm.
empower them, you have to be on another level. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you remain on the same level, then people can't see your growth, and then they gonna either start to look down on you or they're not gonna respect you. So you have to learn how to elevate your mindset and change your thought process and how you receive and how you give out information. Hey y'all, I'm so excited. So I just
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. So cultivating faith-based strategies transform your thoughts and your beliefs, overcoming obstacles together, embrace challenges to unlock your potential, and elevating your mindset, develop strategies to overcome life hurdles. So empower your mindset. Your mindset shapes your reality. Embrace faith and overcome all obstacles. So there's that word faith again. We have to have the faith the size of a mustard seed um, in order for us to overcome these oppositions or obstacles or setbacks. So faith-based strategy number 1, embrace gratitude. First Thessalonians 5 and 16 through 18. And what, I don't know what happened to I can't see my notes. But you have to embrace gratitude and you have to, let's say for instance, on gratitude and with my job, I can speak to that. Where if I go in every day complaining about the job, complaining about the people on the job, complaining about the work that I have to do at the job, this is the same job that I prayed for.
Mm-hmm.
So where is the gratitude? If I continue to do that, God will be like, girl, this is what you asked for now, but you've been complaining since day one. So for me, my mindset now is because I realize what it is I need to do,
Mm-hmm.
change my attitude and show some gratitude. So now I don't go in complaining. I go in, I speak, I do my work, and I go home. I'm not in no cliques. We're not standing around talking about what's going on, who's doing what, who quit today, none of that. So now I understand what gratitude really is and how you are supposed to respond to gratitude. Any comments? So the next one is trust in God's plan. And I think this is similar to what you just spoke to, Arnetta.
Uh-huh.
But this comes from Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It may not be the same one that you was referring to, but you have to trust God's plan. And sometimes what is the scripture? I know the plans I have for you.
Jeremiah 29 and 11.
Jeremiah 29 and 11. So you have to trust because the plan is already written out. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know what it is, but we have to trust God's plan for our lives. And not our plan. We got a plan, but it ain't it ain't the right one.
Mm-mm.
So in order for you to get to that next level or to elevate your mindset, you're going to have to trust what God has in store for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can ask him and he'll tell you. You
He
may not
will.
understand it, he will. He will tell you, and it may not be what you want to hear, but you have to trust it anyway. Otherwise, you're gonna still be stuck. So the third one is you have to build a godly mindset, renewing your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes back to trusting God's plan. So now your mindset is I'm going to trust whatever it is God tells me to do. Whatever I ask him and he responds, that's what I'm going to do, even if I have to write it down. Now, journaling is a major part of mindset because
Mm-hmm.
we can't remember everything. And then it can take us back when you're journaling and you're writing stuff down and you're writing the timeline, the time frame, the dates, and then when you
Mm-hmm.
go back and look, there was something that I had written back in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
There was two things that came to fruition. I wrote in 2019. I want to say it may have been November. One of them was um, about a job, which is the current job that I'm in now, and the salary. And That came to fruition in 2022. And the second one is the house that we're in now.
Mm-hmm.
So there were two things that I wrote down. It was in 2019, and they came to fruition, one in 2022. And then we moved in this house in November of 2021. So both of those things came to fruition. So we have to trust God's plan. We have to write it down. We have to journal it. And we have to stay focused on the process and getting to those. So you can't just write stuff down and tell God what it is you want to do. There's a process of things that you have to do in order to
Mm-hmm.
get to um that's that end goal. It's not just gonna happen. You're gonna have to do something. You ain't gonna just write it down, sit back and
Mm-hmm.
wait for what to happen. That's not how it
Got,
works.
you got to
And I
put some
think that
action with it.
Gotta put some action.
exactly that
Mm-hmm.
goes back to that faith without works is dead. I mean, if
And
you ask him for something and you believe he answered you and said yes, you gonna have to put some skin in the game.
mm-hmm.
If not, everybody could do it. Let's say if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right. Adopt a spirit of humility.
Mm-hmm.
So true humility, and that goes back to James 4 and 6 scripture. True
Mm-hmm.
humility is not looking down on yourself and looking up to God. It's the opposite. You have to look up to God and you have to thank Him in advance of what He is about to do. Because it's not about you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, what is you have to humble yourself, show yourself approved.
Right.
And focus on life eternal. You have to look above and not beneath because we're not going to be here always. So we can't act like everything here on earth as if we're going to take this with us. So you have to focus on life eternal, and that comes from Colossians 3 and 2. You have to live this earthly life with an eternal focus. So we have to focus on the eternal. We have to always have our focus on God. Develop godly mindset relationships. So iron sharpen iron. And this is
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 27 and 17. So this is one of the first points I made about Arnetta and I, how we text each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you need someone who can not only support you, but also encourage you.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's too important. You mentioned this earlier, like if I show you something or vice versa, and it's not something you ought to be making public, then I should be able to take that criticism if you say, no, girl, you need to go back to the drawing board on that one. Or, you probably shouldn't speak to your husband like that or your kids or whatever. We have to be able to receive that godly constructive criticism.
That's right. You have to receive it as love
Yeah. Yeah.
because
And
there's
also, with that being said, if it's perceived to be love, you should be receive it as love.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
facts.
Everybody don't be like that though.
Exactly. That's why I said if it's
They,
perceived,
yeah.
you should receive it as love. You
Mm-hmm.
know truth. You know truth. You know
Mm-hmm.
you should. We have to pray about that because we have to be able to identify.
Right.
Right. Have a discerning spirit
Yeah.
of where the
Yes.
person is coming from. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have to even do that with ourselves too, because
Oh.
sometimes when we hear things, we
Mm-hmm.
have to try that spirit by the spirit. I say that all the time. We can hear it. We need to know that it's coming from God. We just don't jump to everything that comes to us. We need to try that spirit by the spirit
Mm-hmm.
because some of it evil.
That's right.
Yes, we
Right.
think it's for good.
Yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
about perception. You have to be able to perceive
Hmm.
what you are hearing before you even able to receive it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other comments on that, Alice? You still, Alice or Netra?
I'm still here.
Okay.
No comment from me.
Okay. So you have to practice forgiveness. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not always easy. You know how people will say, let me give you the scripture first. It's Ephesians 4, verses 31 and 32. You have to practice forgiveness. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that prisoner was you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a lot of times you hear people say, I'm gonna forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget. And sometimes for me, that's like, well, that's really not forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you don't forget it, you shouldn't have to say that. I'm gonna forget,
Right.
I'm not gonna forget. So for me, I would be like, well, no, they don't really mean they're gonna forgive me then, because if they're not gonna forget, they're gonna continue to bring whatever it is that happened. They're gonna continue to bring that up.
Mm-hmm. I know for me with forgiveness, it helped me in life, like you say, it's a part of the mindset, but it also helps me as a person to forgive and forget. I had to learn that because it took a while to get to that point, but when you forgive and forget, it's like it's you at a peaceful place, in life. So that and it is something, like you say, you have to practice because a lot of times, like you said, we hold on to it. We say we've forgiven somebody, but we don't really forgive them. So you forgive them, but like you say, you're constantly talking about it or bringing it back up. But for me, I had to learn to forgive and forget. It was something that I had to practice.
Mhm. So that goes back to what you just said about being free. So, once you actually forgive that person and forget about it,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, y- you as so it was as you were the prisoner, and once you
Mm-hmm.
release that,
Mm-hmm.
now your mind is free. So now
Right.
you're able to even elevate your mindset now, because part of that is gone. Part of that is gone from your mindset. So now you're able to move up to the next level. So now you're elevating your mindset because now you have more room
Mm-hmm.
to think about positive things because you were able to release that.
And I
Right.
think we have to ask ourselves, is it even worth holding on to the offense? Because I always say you can't be effective and offended in the kingdom at the same time.
My
Mm-hmm.
Lord.
Oh, that's good. That's
They're
real
You
real
good.
can't
good.
be.
You can't repeat that. Repeat. Y'all
You
write this
cannot
down.
be. You cannot be effective and offended at the same time.
That part. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we talk about forgive and forget, the forget part for me is not to mention it again, but it is for me to focus on guarding my heart and my mind with that person.
Hmm. Right. Right.
So it's like I might restore or release you of the offense, but in the sense that I forget it, but not in the terms as it relates to me guarding my heart and my mind as God told me to do.
Mm, that's right.
So
There
you really got to make up your mind. You're going to be effective for the kingdom or you're going to walk around being offended because you cannot be both at the same time.
you go.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to be stuck and you're not going to advance. You're not going to
Absolutely.
elevate. And you're not
You're
going to
not
be
going to
that.
give your you're not giving your full self if I'm offended. It's just like if you said on your job, if somebody ticks you off or the manager or whatever, you're going to do your job because that's part of your duties. But God tells us to work as though we are working unto Him.
That's right.
So He cares about our motive and our attitude and our spirit when we're doing anything. And He tells us, if you ain't doing it for the right motive with the right spirit, with clean hands and heart, I don't want your service.
Right.
Right.
It's wasting your
And
time.
exactly. And that's how He expects for us to show up in the marketplace, like for real.
Mm-hmm. So if we keep our mind stayed on Him,
Mm-hmm.
we won't have any issues. Okay. So we have looked at the 7 strategies. And I'm going to go back over them real quick. The first one was embrace attitude. Embrace gratitude, I'm sorry. Embrace gratitude, and it's First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, verses 16 through 18. Gratitude. The second one was trust in God's plan. Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 6. I think that's the main one. Build a
Mm-hmm.
godly mindset by renewing your mind. And that's Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Build a godly mindset by renewing your mind. Adopt a spirit of humility. That's going to be James chapter 4, verse 6. Focus on life eternal. That's Colossians chapter 3, verse 2. Living this earthly life with an eternal focus. Develop godly mindset relationships. That's Proverbs 27 and 17. So that's the one where iron sharpen iron. And then the last one is practice forgiveness. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Ephesians chapter 4, verses 31 and 32. So are there any questions or any comments on anything we've talked about? If not, we're going to, that's the Q&A, and there are some next steps. So if you have not joined the private Facebook group, it is a free 99, as they say. It's a free group. It's a network of empowered women where iron sharpens iron. So you can copy and paste the link over into a browser, and it should take you there, and you just click on join. And I get a notification saying that you are requesting to join, and I will let you in the group. It's not on the last email I sent. It was the email prior to, should be 2 emails that has the link on there. Then I have a Mindset Matter course if you want to continue working with me and talking about mindset matters, and talking about your own personal oppositions or obstacles or setbacks. I have a Mindset Matter course. It is $199 or $238, depending on how you want to access it. If you want a one-time payment, it would be the $199. But if you want to split it into 2 payments, it's going to be $118 per payment. So it'll be 2 payments of $238. And then I have a mindset mentoring with Dr. G. And it's also you will be creating a driven strategies, where you would just be working one-on-one with me, either through personal Zoom calls or through one-on-one phone calls. And both of those are 8-week courses. The first one is self-paced, or if you choose not to do the self-paced, we can also do a one-on-one with that same course. And then there is a Mindset Matter webinar, which is similar to this one, but it is also self-paced, and it is only $49. And you will also receive discounts on any of the products that I have for sale. And if you have been following me, you have been seeing some of the door hangers or door wreaths that I have been posting. There are discount codes for all of those items as well. So if there are any questions or there are no questions, you can either inbox me on Facebook, or you can respond to the emails that are sent, and they will go to my my Gmail account, and I can read them there. So if you are interested in any of the offers, and I will also email these, because I know I probably was talking kind of fast, so I'm going to email these out, and then you can respond if you are interested in joining me or continuing to work with me. But for sure, I hope to see you over in the private Facebook group. Is there anything else, Miss Jackie? You unmuted?
Yeah, I'm unmuted.
Oh,
I
okay.
stopped working. I had that blower going.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are there any questions? You can put them in the chat. Like, I got the chat open. All right. If there are no questions, I look forward to seeing you all over in the Facebook group. And thanks everybody for joining me.
All right. So it's
Thank
time for
you for
Aunt
your
Griffin.
time. Good
Yes,
information.
this was
Thank
great.
you. I enjoyed this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Alice.
Thank you, ladies.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Glenda.
You're welcome. Thank
All
you.
right. It was nice. I
It
really
was
like.
real nice.
Thank
Yeah.
Mhm.
you.
Okay.